What if every movie you loved was secretly a love story? We've been taught that love story is boy meets girl, but love story is bigger than romance.
A love story isn't about whether two people kiss, it's about whether they connect. You're watching a love story, even if the only thing being loved is freedom itself. Watch Arrival without this lens. And yeah, it's a brilliant sci-fi puzzle, but masterfully braids two love stories into one. A linguistic falling in love with an alien species, and a mother loving a daughter she knows she'll
Are you the
lose.
sheriff in this here town?
The film's genius is revealing they are the same choice to embrace connection despite certain heartbreak.
You want me
The
to chase you?
sci-fi is just
You
the
better
vehicle.
run.
Jaws is still a thriller, yeah, but underneath the shark, it's a story about a father's love for his family, for his community. The Godfather appears to be a crime saga about power, but its true tragedy is rational. Watch Michael's journey not as a rise to power, but as a descent into isolation. Every murder isn't just business, it's another thread of connection served. By the end, he gains the power, but loses every person who made it worth having. The door doesn't just close on Kay, it closes on his humanity.
If we could just give it another go round.
Remember me. Try your best.
Genre is a promise,
Maybe we
a
can.
contract with the audience about what kind of change they are about to witness. The car chases, the wars, the quests, they are all driven by a single primal question. Will these people find one another, or will they end alone? But every story needs an obstacle. What stops them? That's the only real question in a love story. Because without resistance, what is there? Two people meet, they fall in love, they marry, they grow old together. It's sweet, but it's also boring. The power of love story
Completely.
comes from its opposition.
Love you. Like a sister loves a brother, and a friend loves a friend.
For thousands of years, that force was simply the parents of the girl.
This is Jacob, my boyfriend.
No.
I want to see the boyfriend.
In Romeo and Juliet, the blackened curses.
Get thee to church Thursday, or never after look me in the face.
Love stories need friction, but as society evolved, so did the barriers.
Fame thing isn't really real, you know.
External obstacles gave way to internal ones: trauma, addiction, the fear of vulnerability. The walls moved from outside the heart to inside it.
Parental objection stopped being credible. You still find it in some of the films that coming up. Maybe it's parental rejection based on race. So the obstacles to love had to evolve. The graduate, the force is tradition. In Witness, it's culture. In Mr. Softball, it's the societal moral code. And When Harry Met Sally, it's their own absurd belief that friendship and romance can't coexist. In Lone Star, it's racism. In The Crying Game, it's sexual identity. In Ghost, it's death itself. As audience grow skeptical, our love stories grow darker. The Bridges of Madison County, Leaving Las Vegas, lovers who can survive each other or themselves. By the end of the century, the happily ever after felt like a lie. Some writers tried a new trick, the longing story. Instead of showing love, they showed only the desire of love. Sleepless in Seattle, Red, Boy Meets Girl. Not at the beginning, but at the end. The obstacle isn't commitment, it's just finding each other. When they find each other, the credits roll, saving us from the messy aftermath of the modern love. The lesson: social attitudes change. A love story written in the 50s can bore audiences the 80s. Innovative writers sense the next shift. They ask the question, what does it mean to love today? The love story, the conventional love story, is a connection. And when the connection changes, it changes the conventional. So when connection enters in a story, it takes different forms and it creates its own genre. And we really need to explain it because that's the premise of the whole series. Sorry for that. Each one a different face of the human need. This is where love stories explodes through the subgenres, built not on romance, but in intimacy and change. First, body salvation.
I'm saved!
Two isolated souls, often opposites, who find completion in platonic love. Woody and Buzz, learning to trust each other in Toy Story.
Buzz! You're flying!
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
Friendship becomes the transformative force. And then comes maturation and education. Here, the intimacy is with an idea, who you could become. It's sparked by a mentor, a rival, or a first love. In Stand By Me, a summer of adventure defines adulthood. In The Karate Kid, a mentor teaches more than karate. In A Lady Bird, the tension between mother and daughter maps a journey toward independence. A closely related is the education plot, where a cynical and naive worldview reshaped by connection, like in The Groundhog
That's not bad
Day.
for a quadruped. You gotta check your mirrors, just side of your eye. Side of your eye.
Whiplash,
1, 2, 3.
or As Good as It Gets.
All the prescriptions.
Finally, the deepest form, redemption and disillusionment. In redemption stories, connection is the spark that turns a character towards the light. In Schindler's List, one man's growing bond with his workers pulls him out of the moral apathy. In Logan, a wary hero sacrifices himself for the next generation, finding redemption in peace after a lifetime of violence. But there is also the dark twin, disillusionment. In Godfellas or A Godfather, bonds corrode. Isolation wins. We watch soul unravel. One side shows us the power of intimacy, the other shows us the cost of losing it.
And now it's all over.
Across every subgenre, the stakes are the same, intimacy against emptiness. And once you see it, you spot it everywhere. Even in films you would never call a love story. And here is the paradox. Once you understand what love story really is, it's the connection that drives the change. You start simply seeing it everywhere. The love story, in its infinite, varied forms, is the anchor of cinema. Because simply, it's the anchor of our lives. We go to the movies to see our own longing for connection reflected back at us and to be transformed by it. So, this is just the beginning. In the next video, we're gonna flip to the other side of the spectrum.
What about when connection fails? When isolation wins? When the thing we fear isn't losing love, but facing the void without it? Next time, the opposite of everything we just discussed.
Movies about fear and tragedy.
Why we pay to be afraid.